Incoming mail. Incoming mail.
Hi guys, not quite past, not quite 4 o'clock yet, so I can talk a bit of nonsense. Look at my brilliant trades, eh? No help at all from the fundamentals coming out. Absolutely none whatsoever, eh? No, that was no, oh dear, just pure skill. Just shows, eh? Just shows. ADP comes out, bad. GDP comes out, good. Gerard's just joined. You see what I mean, Gerard? You know, I mean, yeah, no wonder. You know, I've been doing this for a while. The longer you do it, the more chicken you become. I'll leave you guys to be Rambo, and I'll be the chicken, so we can sort of meld the two together. Because that could easily could have been gone down the other way if the GDP had been, shall we say, less inflationary, or more inflation, should I say, other way around, or less inflationary. Which way around is in this right now. GDP was 2 less inflation. I thought right way around the first time, yeah. Was slightly more than expected, yet the automatic data processing, ADP, non-farm employment, in other words, a precursor for the jobs report coming on Friday, was better than expected. What was it now? Hang on. Employment, no, it was down. Sorry, wrong way around. It was down, which is worse than expected, which is less inflation. So back to front, you're not driving the right or the left. So less inflationary, which is good for the dollar. Now the GDP was higher, which is inflationary, which was bad for the dollar, the first one, and good for the dollar, this one. That's correct, yeah. So the ADP was better than expected, which is bad for the dollar. GDP was higher than expected, which is inflationary. So that should have been in theory the other way around for the dollar. Hang on, now I'm confused now. Hang on, that should have been bad for the dollar. GDP higher than expected, correct? That is inflationary. Inflationary means strong interest rates, means increasing the dollar strength. Yes, it's the right way. Sorry, starting off with that. Med's been a bit spinning at the moment, something's going on. Got it the right way around, yeah. More inflation, higher interest expectations, which is strong for the dollar. Yeah, that's exactly the right way around. Do beg your pardon. So yeah, the yen now has done very well. We got a 108. I have to say, the guys on my WhatsApp group might have got stopped out by modifying the stop. I hope they weren't. Don't want to get too close, but they did a bit of nice profit. If they didn't see it and they're still in or whatever, they're smiling because they'll be up by about 140 pips at the moment. But that being said, it ain't going to go on forever. So I don't want you to take the profit. That's just not, you want to ride the thing, obviously. But I'd strongly suggest you modify stop. Maybe 138.80, 138.90. Hang on, just sorry, I'm confused. Try and pronounce your name now. I'm in the hosting the training at the moment. Can I speak to you? Can you give me a shout after 5 o'clock, please? Okay. Thanks. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so maybe you don't get too close, jumping around a bit. Normally I say about 20 pips. I'm putting it below the 139. It's up to you. You can put it close to your light. It's just jumping around a bit. Might come off a bit now. Look at that knee-jerk reaction, I don't know. But modify maybe 138.80, 138.90. If you want to make 139.20 or sorry, 139.10 or 139. I can't make that guess. I'm just giving an indication. I'll put it up there, and whatever you do, you're going to make a decent top of it. That's the major thing. Okay, working out quite nicely. Hi, guys. Okay, so it's a big hectic year. So stuff's coming out. The CPI came out slightly less than the euro, and then the funds start at 3:15, then 3:30. The next one's at 5. The pending's at 5:30, I think, and then Powell again. So I tell you what, my friend, it's all go. At least it's not paint drying stuff. Good fun. Give me a second. All right, so keep an eye on the economic calendar. Later on the show, if you can just remind me to post it for guys who don't have it. As you can see now, when I'm talking about fundies, how important they are. Karat, you're on to me. Gold, a classic air of the gold was to buy on that flag breakout. Absolutely technical classic buy. I said, nah, wait for these damn fundies, I'm scared. And let's look at gold now on that subject, see if it did suddenly pull back from 63-ish back to 55. See what I mean? You get my point now. Up there, broke through that flag. That's a classic break there. Had an hour break, day break if you want, an hour break, classic break, upside. Only thing that brought that back was fundies. So I said, be careful of it. That's why you must all have that DXY, very, very important, and understand what the information coming from it, because it'll override any technicals. Okay. So, and we're joking, you Rambo, me chicken, but I think we should be a little bit around. I'm teasing myself there, but at our times to be a bit chicken and at times to be Rambo. And I think that was one of them, as you can see here. Now I'm putting something out. Some to get a decent range trade. I couldn't send it out, plus it's quite busy and it wasn't good enough. It's just a range trade. Came up. What was it again? GBP. I forgot what it was. It was GBNZD. I think it was that one. I can't remember what it was. It was a range trade anyway. It seems to be doing okay. I forgot what it is now. Let's check on the WhatsApp. What was it again? Just give me a second. GBP. What was it now? I'm trying to find it here. Can't find it. Where was it? Anyway, whatever it was, it did quite well. Hey, GBNZ, I was right. Remember, it was a range trade. I think it was on the hourly, or was on the daily. I can't remember. I think it was on the daily. That's right. The daily. I think you got in somewhere around about these levels here. Upsides, you're doing okay on that. Don't know if you got to stop or not, but just make sure you protect yourself. You know, if you take a loss, it happens. Guarantee it's going to happen. But I tell you what, if you really want to get fed up, is when you make a profit and then that profit turns into a loss. Once you're in a profit, not 1 rand, give this thing a chance, you know, up about, I won't talk you rands, it depends on your position size, but if you're 30 pips or more, I think you should move that stop. All right, you are going to get kicked out and then it's going to go out and you could have made 100 pips, but rather bank 30, 40 pips than have 30 pips suddenly float away, a funding comes out, or something unexpected. We don't know, something going to go off somewhere in the world we don't know about, and suddenly it shoots down, hits you out, then you'll be seriously fed up. So yeah, well done your range trade there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, thanks very much for reminding me, Howard. Where's your sensitivity on that? I'm just praising your brilliant trade. Now you're reminding me, which is traumatizing me, that it's not doing too well. I'm cut to the quick there. Deeply traumatized. This is, you know, this could damage me psychologically. I might have to go for therapy on this. You're quite right, but it's not that bad. Oh, okay. I'll try and get over it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I dropped my head when I was a kid, so I can't help the banter BS, but I do rather like it. So bear with me. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're still in it. 83 got in. 5 pips to the negative. Well, I don't think we're going to. Maybe I'll put off the therapy for a little bit longer. Okay. I think 5 pips is maybe a little bit wokish to go for therapy. 5 pips to the negative, eh? Anyway, okay, so we'll see if that comes right. And I won't forget, if that comes very right and yours suddenly plots down and you're stopped out, I will never let you forget. Never let you forget. Now, anyway, so it hasn't been too bad, hence the slightly bumptious mood, excuse me. Right, Brent, what a pleasure. Those who got in before, fantastic. We sent it out again today. Remember, read the signal, guys. Read the signal. A lot of guys still saying, I can't get in. Well, it says in the signal, 4:30 opening on Brent, I mean on shares. And remember, the volumes are different. If it says 34 1.0, why do you put 0.01? Or I know you're new to it, so you're probably a bit nervous. And you got 10 grand in your account, why would you put 1.0 in for 34 rand? So you've got to read the signal and do the maths. It's not that frightening. Do it. You got your stop loss to protect you. Okay. Right. So Brent 84 did okay. It came back again. I think some guys might have got in the second time around. I'm not sure it reversed back in again to get in again. If they didn't, doesn't matter. The guys that got in, fantastic. The guys that got in the trading room at 81 odds, really smiling. Modify the stop. I said on my group a couple of times, modify the stop. Again, 86.50. Just let these guys in, sorry. 86.50. So it comes back and goes up to 100. And you knocked out 86.50. Well, I'm sorry, but you can profit. But bottom line, I'd rather you knock out 86.50 than you leave the stop at 78 bucks and it comes flying off. Don't think it's going to do that, but you never sodding down. You know, anything can happen. Saudis might suddenly say, hang on a minute, I've got all problems here. I'm being pressed in the States. We can open up the taps. We're all floods down. Anything can happen. Okay. Okay, so that's doing just nicely. If this starts taking out 88, you can move it up to maybe 87.50 or something like that. You get the idea anyway. Protect until you're stopped out. You're trying to get away from the guys who are holding on to losses, hoping they come right, and taking the profit as soon as they see 5 cents because they're so scared. So they make 100 winners and suddenly they're then red on their account because they're still sitting in that 1,000 rand loss, which they're holding on to at a stop loss, having taken it away because they don't want to take the loss. Very, very common, incredibly common, and trying to sort of 180 degrees change the attitude. Have your stop in, put it behind you. It costs you something you could afford because you took that into account when you went to the position size calculator and run your winners. Okay. And sometimes you're getting stopped out, like I said, in 50 pip profit when it could have been 150, but rather that than take the loss. Okay. Hope that's all sort of clearish. Great to have you, Vedna. Just point out, Vedna knows that already, but just remember, there's nothing wrong with having not a large amount of money. Everyone prefers to have a lot. Who wants? That's what it's all about. But just be circumspect, because I'm getting a lot of pullback here. Guys are expecting to get the returns of a person who's a consultant surgeon the last 20 years after 2 days as a nurse. Nothing wrong with 2-day nurses, but the income is going to be a disparity, is going to be somewhat different. So just remember, you have a little in, expect a little out. But it's all right, it's all you got. You want to work with it. I don't have a problem with that. But don't sod all and expect a gush coming out the other end. You got lucky you won the lottery, but that's not the norm. Bear that in mind. Okay. It does indeed look good. Yeah, modify your stop loss. Just be intelligent about it. Well, you would resent, you spent 20 years studying, and Joe Soap comes out, who's virtually illiterate after half a day looking at his books, same as you, you'd feel, you know, just think of it that way. Okay. Don't expect, if you've got a bow and arrow, you've got something, at least you've got a bow and arrow, but don't expect to try and compete with a guy who's got a nuclear bomb. I mean, clearly, okay. It's slightly exaggerated, but just to get people to think a bit on the concept. Because, it shakes when guys want to put in 20 rand and start to making a living on it. You know, I just know. Okay, right. Where were we now? No, because you got right attitude, Fed. That's why. I did really get to my ticket when people want to put in nothing and get a lot out. You know what I mean? If you don't put in anything, not even equipment, knowledge, time, effort, money, or anything, and you still want the returns of a film star or the Tiger Woods or whatever, that must have been, it does annoy me. It annoys me a lot, in fact, because it's just no, obviously. Okay, EUR AUD. EUR AUD, 54.05, been jumping around a bit. It's doing very well. It came off a bit, jumping around. Still seems to be in profit. Still seeing that range. Play with it as you want. Okay, it just seems to be drifting a bit at the moment. Look at the last couple of days. Yeah, if it gets up to these sort of levels here, strongly suggest you're getting stop loss pretty close in case it goes flying down again. It's battling to get direction either way. Okay. No, thanks, Corey, because don't be rude. It's just, it does my head in, to be honest. It absolutely does my head in. I want to go on the football pitch and get paid the same as Messi. You know what I mean? And go on strike. It's unfair, and it's prejudice against ball-headed old buggers like me because I'm not getting the same money as a footballer as Messi. I mean, you know, what? Still going strongest, 86, 88. See if we can go above 87. EUI let me down a bit, this one. I'm hoping it's going to hold. It's holding there technically on the daily. I know we got it at 38 now. I know we're 30 pips down. I get that, but still, it's holding there. And you hold there yesterday. The dollar seems to be okay. Again, sorry guys, pound's got a lot to do with it. The jolt's at 5. The system could be stuffed up. Doesn't mean you suddenly get out of the loss. You got your stop in. Hope you got your volumes correct. If you get stopped out, sorry about that. Happens beyond my control, but it might be good news. And if he is hawkish, I hope and think he will be, he might come get a nice payday as it comes off. So we'll leave that to run. Same with AUD USD. Let it run. Do not enter it now. God's sake, don't enter it now. Technically speaking, if there's no fundies coming out excellent opportunity to sell it down. Excellent opportunity to sell it down. But how do you, Mark? But I would not. So I was going to mute you guys here. So, guys, you can always unmute as per normal. Okay, where was I? Yeah. Technically speaking, absolutely, this is a brilliant sell opportunity. I quite agree on that. Maybe a little bit more confirmation, technical basis, but not now. There's 3 more coming out on the US, the big ones coming out of the state. So if you miss out by selling and it comes flying down, sorry, that is your choice. Ignore me and go for it. But I'd be careful. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. The gold one we mentioned. Well, I mentioned it fell out just now on the WhatsApp. Here's a classic example. It breaks through the flag on the daily. Breaks through there, confirm upwards. That's a classic technical. Forget the technicals, the fundies, leave it alone. Is it upwards for yet? 15 minutes, just going to put an alarm in. In case I forget, just give me a minute. You want to see the opening? Okay. Okay, Mike, pending at 1.03090 for a sell. Let's go for that one because this no one's doing the gold, I don't think. If they are, leave it alone. If they're in, you've already got your stops. Euro, there you go. Yeah, I have no problem with that under normal times. I have a lot of problem with it now, as long as you stop. As long as you know the risk you're taking, if he's not as hawk as you expect, and the dollar suddenly weakens and the euro goes screaming up. That can happen. It might not. It might be a complete damn squib. As long as you're aware of it, I have no problem. As I say, it's like you're on open roads, 140, you're on the N1, you just passed, I don't know, Beaufort West on your way down to Cape Town, or vice versa on the way to Three Sisters or whatever. Yeah, you know you're doing over the speed limit, but that's up to you. But if you get stopped and you spend the night in the holding cell, well, you hopefully knew you're doing over the limit, okay? But yeah, I have no problem with that at all. I think it's not a bad one at all, but just like I said, okay, be aware of that. Okay, or wait for sell later on, or whatever happens. just absolutely. Okay, just go through a few of them now. AUDCHF, that was a range trade. Didn't we do all that? We mentioned that. Pretty sideways. What else did we have? That was all this morning because of these fundies flying out. EURAUD, I've got down as a possible buy. EURAUD. Oh, no, sorry. That was because it came back to go in again if you missed out, but it hasn't. It's gone back up again, so ignore that. Got a line through that. Beg your pardon. Wrote that down a couple of hours ago this afternoon. That's out of date now. I just wanted, before I ask you any questions, want to check our trades we got. Maybe to gloat a bit because I seem to be doing all right. Right, we've got at 145.30. This has come to the party big time as well. It's now about 110 pips in profit. I think by now you all know, modify stop loss, protect. Don't leave your stop loss way down here. Something goes wrong, you stop down the loss. Well, if you're a trading room marine, you might be excommunicated because that's not a clever thing to do. AUDCHF, that was one I was at for a sell and a range trade. Doesn't see much happening on it, does it? That was out this morning. AUDCHF, now it's hovering. Still want to do it. 3 pips away from entry. So no problem. You still want to do it? I still like the downside on it. It's nothing to do with the dollar, is it? AUD, I still think it's weak. Still problems with China. CHF, I think it's a great currency. Not because they're doing anything brilliant. It's just like it's a big banking zone. That's why. So I still think it's stronger overall. It's top of the range. Still quite like it. Husband's trade. Does he want to go long or something? Because I'm going short. What's he want to do with it? But anyway, it's a range trade. Yeah, I still like it. If you're not in it, still like it. Got out this morning at 83. It's now 85. 2 pips. Let's not argue about that amongst friends, eh? So if you still want to do it, I'm quite happy, Anne-Marie. If your husband likes it going long and you agree with him, well, go on. I was going to say, fair enough. You want to buy it, it's your choice. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm happy with that. If anyone wants to do that range trade, I mentioned it was an aggressive one with a fairly tight stop and a fairly tight TP. Yeah, if you want to do it and you're not in, aggressive one. If you want to do it, guys. Okay. Let's have a look. We'll put the same SL before, 64.20. And where's the TP? 60. Not quick. Okay, I'm just going to do it. Put the wrong one in, otherwise I've got to concentrate here. Mine goes a bit quicker than my one finger typing. Come on, see if it takes it this time. Yep, it does. There you are. 2 to 1, that's not a bad risk. $60, it's not going to kill you. That's for 1 micro. So there you go. Like I said, tight stop, tight TP, range trade, nothing to do with Fibonacci's, what's happening in the other side of the world, what's happening in Mongolia, you know what I mean? Trend lines, whatever. Purely a range trade. I think I'm back to Swissy over the Aussie, and it's the top of the range. I don't see why you should take a bit of a risk on this one. Okay. We'll check the NASDAQ for nothing at all. See, I'll check it, but I won't be shorting it now. Opening in 10 minutes, and there's hectic stuff coming out. So chasing it now, if you're a momentum trader, fair enough. But if you haven't traded before, see, I think you have. If you know what you're doing, it's a different ballgame. You know what you're doing. If you're new to it, very different. Just let me know. I'm experienced now. So this is my first time. Should have a bash it. Let me know, and I'll try and dissuade you. You don't drive like a Formula One after your first lesson. You get the idea. Right. So there we are. If you got it, play around with it. There you are. Okay. What do you want to do with the NAS? User files and how to trade majors. Best. Okay. Hi, Neo. Specifically the Aussie dollar and euro dollar during high impact fund reserves. Before we go to the Brent or the NAS, we'll explain some of the Neo and the guys there. The majors is are 4 of them. It's the all against the dollar. It's the euro dollar, the GBP USD, the USD JPY, and the USD Swiss franc. As you notice, the USD is a secondary currency or the prime currency, depending. So it's US dollar base currency against the Japanese yen, and the US dollar against the Swiss franc, the base currency. GBP USD, so the GBP is now the base and the euro is the base. Don't forget that. It's not me to give you a trading lesson, like I said, but remember that difference. So those are the four majors. The crosses are the, what you call it, New Zealand and Aussie and the Canadian dollar, the three crosses. Then you go to the exotics like the pesos, the Hong Kong dollar, and the rand or whatever. Don't worry about them. You're starting. Forget that. Okay. So bottom line, it depends which fundamental's coming up. If it's a euro in the currency, clearly a euro big thing like Lagarde's coming out. She's the president of the ECB, European Central Bank, is about to speak. You don't be jumping around the euro. That's why the economic fundamental. I'll post it in a minute. Okay. Now we know all about these fundamentals coming out of the US dollar, and that's the daddy of them all, the dollar. You want to be careful of going and playing around with the dollar, just in case something comes out on the news that will overrun the technicals you've been taught. That will take a bit of time to pick up. I'm glad you asked the question. It's fantastic you've been proactive, and I won't do that because often the person who gets to answer it, I can answer a lot of other people who are a bit nervous. So having said that, what I'm going to do now, just bear with me a second before I do Brent. I'm just going to do that for the lady and for everybody else, is I'm going to put on the economic calendar, keep it, copy it, you know what to do. Just give me a second. There you are. That's filtered for you. And here's the DXY. I'll leave the yields. I'll do that for another lesson. I'll confuse everybody. Okay. This is the dollar index. Clearly, it's the dollar on an index basis. Okay. Keep them and have them handy to keep an eye on. Okay. Right. Very important. Thank you. Okay. So AUDCH. Chef Brent. That's right. I was a NAS. Well, if you're new, don't even think about it. We'll do the NAS in a minute. We'll do the Brent first. I want to spend a couple of moments on the NAS for the newer guys. If you get a bit bored, experienced guys, you've got to trade, interrupt, that comes first. Okay, right, where were we now? Brent. Okay, it's come off a bit. I suggested modifying the stop to 86.50. So have the guys been stopped out yet? Not quite. Might get stopped out, but you made a nice of $2.50 per position. In other words, 84 to 86.50, $2.50 movement, depending on your position size. That's nice profit. You've done all right. I still think you should leave it 86.50. If you get stopped out, it bounces up. Well, so be it. That again is your choice. But I'd rather do that than see 87 become 86, 85, 84 again. But that's up to you. I'm just giving you parameters, whether you choose to take it or not, it's entirely up to you. At least you got the choice with the information to make that choice. That's the important part. Now, the next question, do you want to short it now? Absolutely not. Do you want to buy it now? I don't think so. It might come back and move back up again, but I think it's joining the gravy train a little bit on the late side there. Party is a bit late for you to join now. Okay, so I'll give it a miss, but if you're in, I suggest you move your stop. If you haven't moved 86.50, maybe move to 86 instead. I don't know, but protect yourself. That's what I'm saying. Happy with that, Keone? I assume you are. You always reply in a moment. Okay, I want to go to the NAS. I want to spend a couple of moments on the NAS because it's causing a lot of guys a lot of grief. Not because of the NAS's problem, because the guys are driving the car, but they're not equipped to drive it. The NAS is, I think, even more volatile than the Dow. But anyway, I'm not going to quibble on that. It's suddenly become the sexy one, okay, for various reasons, mainly due to COVID, where the technology shot up. And a lot of people made fortunes on NASDAQ because this went up and up and up because people working at home. Look what Zoom did. Never heard of it. Now it's $1 billion company. Look at Amazon. All of them shot up because of COVID, lockdown, goodness knows what. That benefit out of it. Now that's done now. Right. Now, the NASDAQ is very, very volatile indeed. It's not the most volatile in the world. I don't know what it is, but it's certainly one of them. So it's not something you want to hop out. You just got your little Voltsy. You just passed your driving test. And, you know, often gleefully want to start driving it, a Ferrari and go hell for leather. No, You work up to it. The NAS, because it's volatility, on opening at 4:30, let's go, we've gone over to NAS, opening a couple of minutes. At 4:30 is what we call the spot prices opening. You get the futures or forward price, we use futures here, and the spot price, the market price, I don't really want to put it, cash price, if you like. If you don't know what that means, go to a spot and futures, Google it, and read a couple of times till it clicks in. Means. I haven't got time to explain now, that's for lessons or whatever. What I'm trying to say is the American markets open at 4:30 will normally have a large amount of volatility. I've seen this jump the first few minutes up and down about 150 pips, not unusual. Now, the problem is now you're looking at 200 pips, absolute minimum, as your stop loss. Now, on 0.01, okay, Anne-Marie, I just want to explain this. On 0.01, with a 200 pip stop, which in my opinion is the minimum stop, that is $20 US. Current exchange rate is 340 Rand. Now, you do what you like, but I suggest on a £5,000 account, you should be looking at a risk profile about 300. So you're looking at a minimum of £5,000 to be able to comfortably handle a 340 Rand risk on the smallest position size of 1 micro. You get my point. So you've got a 500 to 1, you're completely new to this, you got a granular account. Because the margin is so small in a highly leveraged account, you're not aware of how leverage works, you don't have the pros and cons, and you go in, I've seen it happen, 3, 4, sometimes 5 of them, comes in at 4:30, within a second of the movement, even though they're going along the right way, they're margin call, bang, out. And then they think, hang on, no one in to stop because they don't know what's going on. And I hate to say it, we pick up the problem because it takes our time up. We're busy people. We want to look after people who want to trade, know what they're doing. Now we've got to spend time on admin, trying to explain to that guy that he's got no money, no idea, and shouldn't be doing that. He should learn his stuff first. And I'm not as being polite as some of the others, but it's frustrating, you know? So don't do it unless you've got, I say, £4,000 minimum, but preferably £5,000 upwards. The Dow can even be bigger because the contract size is the same. So I reckon the Dow is £8,000 upwards. If we want to do the NAS, put the money in, get to know it, attend the trading room, understand the properties of trading the NAS and its foibles, idiosyncrasies, and then away you go. In the right hands, it's profitable. In the wrong hands, it's a financial disaster. Simple as that. Hope that all is clear. Right, just coming up to 4:30, see on this opening what's going to happen. Well, the audio is working my side, so it must be yours, but you won't hear me say that, I suppose. Okay, but I'm sorry about that. We've got quite a few people in the room discussing. It's 3:30 now. Thanks, Clinton. Can you sort it out? You know, I mean, the guy comes in and I'm busy on the trading room. I haven't unfortunately got time to do that because, yeah. Okay, thanks, eh? Cheers. Thanks, Clinton. Right, so it's just coming up now, a few seconds to go. We'll see how it opens. That's my reminder. See how it opens. Just want to be on this, see how it opens. Then we'll check the shares. We've got a share idea out for to write it down. It was, no, what bloody share was now. It was my idea and I've already forgot about it. It's been quite good. What was it again? Just check it out again. What it is. Give me a second, I'll check the share out again. Been quite busy, but that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Oh, LUV, of course, the airline. That's right, the airline. LUV, thanks, guys. The idea, I've forgotten. So many shares and that floating around it. Right, let's see how that goes, see how that jumps around. Probably won't now, just to prove my point, eh, guys? It's not always like this, guys. It's sometimes quite quiet. With all these fundamentals coming out past being tonight, we have to be on it because more experienced traders might want to benefit. And we've got quite a few trades. We want to make sure they stay as winners. So that's why I'm going to move for their pace. But it's a lot quieter other times than panic. See, NAS is coming off. So sell the NAS, quite right to see. I totally agree with you. But I want to see the 4:30 opening. And even then, you need to make £5,000 in your account. And even then, I want to confirm break below 11.5, and even then, I'm worried about Powell. So there's too many even thens for me to go for it. But otherwise, I'm agreed with the downside. because it's been a range trade 11.5 to 12, round figures, you know. But if the 11.5 can take an out, and it's quite, you can go down 50, 60 and pop up. 40, 50 is nothing on the Dow, on the Nasdaq. Okay, but I think if this can get hawkish tonight, we might start seeing approach 11,000. But seriously, unless somebody thinks differently, I won't get too clever with this at the moment. Well, it seems to be just for one, just a bloody sod's law. It's not happening. It normally screams on and screams up. This time it's a bit quiet. It's been open a minute. See, in a minute, it's 20 pips. That's peanuts. I've seen it do in a minute 50, 80, 90, 100, sometimes more. Seen it trying to find a bit of direction. Shall we look at the shares anyway? Oh, no, hang on. We'll see if this share can get into LUV. Beg your pardon. LUV. Where's LUV? Oh, you're on. That's bright. Had it on them, so taken off by mistake. Sorry about that. Bugging around the damn thing. Sorry about that. All right, let's just look at this. Where are we? LUV. Okay, just bring it up. Right, I should have written it down, but I didn't. Give me a second. $39.25, 35. Sorry, 41.20, 35.10. Okay, right, 39.25. That's more or less where it is at the moment. Okay, about 34 bucks a micro, or $2 a micro. Sorry, a share. Micro got me at it now. A share. Why do I like it? Well, it's the Southwest Airlines. Few problems happening at the moment. And it always side. Let's look at the weekly. Clearly, it's a downtrend. Quite a bit of resistance on the weekly, and go through quickly if you want to get a decent price for you. There it is, right on the entry. It doesn't always happen. We've entered down. The stop is at 200, so we thought it was one to do. So if you like it, on the MT5, on my group, etc., all the information's there. Try and get your volume right. If you want to risk 340 Rand, you put in 10 shares. 34 Rand a share. It's as simple as that. So divide what you're willing to risk on it compared to the account size, divide 34 in, and it'll give you a volume. But our managers has defaulted to a minimum of 1. We don't want people going fractional on this. It's just wasting your time, basically. Why would you want to sell more than 1? Why would you want to sell 1, Mark? You're an IT, you can do the maths. You want to risk 34 bucks? I haven't looked at your amounts, and wouldn't tell everyone anyway. It's not my business to tell them. You know what you got in there. If you got 20 grand, you want to risk, I don't know, 800 Rand, divide 34 to 800 and give you a figure. Doesn't load more than 1.0. That can't be right. Of course it does. Oh, yeah. Now what? Clinton, you're a star. Quite right. Thanks, guys. I just didn't think of that till you mentioned it. Thanks, Mark. About to tease you on your bloody IT there. And the IT guy tells you shut up and you listen because the guy knows. Thank you. Sorry. Hang on a minute. I want to risk 34 Rand. I've given that today. Sorry about that. And I just, forgot this guy's got a couple of brain cells. Beg your pardon. Okay, yeah, Clinton's on it. He's very good at that, and he knows his stuff, so that's great. Well, I hope this thing doesn't suddenly fall off now and you're going to miss the solid trade. I know what he's done. He's defaulted to not to a minimum 1, but 1 exclusively. Probably pressed the wrong button. I'm guessing that's probably what happened. Because he's getting sort of fed up with people putting 0.01 on a share, which then wondering what's moving. Yeah, if you want to risk 100, what's 34 times 5? 150, 170 bucks. If you want to risk 170 around or 10 US dollars, 5 is fine. 5.0. Okay, we'll come back to that. Sorry about that, guys. Sure. Let's have a look at BA. Anything happened to BA there? BA. I can bloody thing. Baba, that's not so good, is it? Well, I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that at all. I think maybe it's Black Friday. I have no idea. I'm just guessing because Baba is behind Black Friday, by the way. Alibaba, that is. Maybe Black Friday's turned out pretty well and given their balance sheet a bit more of a bounce than we thought. Don't know what's doing up there otherwise. Tech stock's been pretty weak lately. Look at the downtrend there. Look at the weekly downtrend. See a bit clearer. See what I mean? Well, anyway, I hope it doesn't get stopped out. Beg your pardon. We'll see. Go back to the daily. Microsoft, you're in. Didn't get to the TP, which is 236, but it's a nice profit. Suggest maybe put a stop loss a couple of bucks above that. Maybe make it 245. Just protect. At least you make a profit. It's pumping green at the moment, yeah, but it might not continue pump green. Hopefully there, Mr. Mark. Oh, I see what you mean, Gerard. So look, you two stick with the brains, I'll stick with the good looks. And I'm astoundingly good looking. Good thinking, Batman. What do I think of that? Well done. If you want to get in and you like it, start bunging a lot of ones. Once it's been sorted out. If it's not moving, maybe you can wait. Good thinking, Batman. It's sorted. Hey, Timbo. Tim, keep close. It's sorted. There you are. Well, Mark, you know what you're doing. Happy with that. As my mum said, when you know the law, then you can break it. If you don't know the law, rather stick to it. I'm not sure it's a good thing to tell a kid, but I know what she meant. Like nobody drives like you do when you're on your driving test, hey? Okay, yeah, so that's sorted. You're a star, Clinton, as always. Brilliant. Let's go back to love then. I should have thought of that, yeah. If you're keen to go in, the thing's pumping your favor, which it is as we speak. Go in 1, 1, 1, 1 and get the thing sorted, yeah. Trouble is that, my friend, a decent sized account, you want to put 1,000 shares in, you'll be here till midnight. I thought it was sorted. Yeah, that's right. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That, yeah. By the time you got your final one in, it's at TP. Now it's bouncing. Yeah, I know. The company's working on that, Tebo. Our good friend Clinton, he's a bit of a tech guy, and he knows his stuff, and he's onto, and he'll speak the right language. Come up with stuff like, some of this don't work, and he'll say, what? Okay, so we'll come back to that when it's sorted. If you keep people up to date, that'd be great. Yeah, so you're going again on Microsoft. Yeah, quite a still see some downsides. There's a good chance of getting there. That's up to you. Okay, but modify, protect yourself. Don't turn a winner into a loser. That's all I ask. Okay, JPY, that's doing fine. You've sorted that out. Anything else we went over this morning? URAUD is hovering around, doing okay. NZDCHF, that's giving us, well, solid so far. That's about as boring as it gets. It's been into profit, it's been into a loss, into profit, a loss. Now it's about even Steven. Oh, well, anyway, let it run. At least it's not really losing, it's sort of okay. BYAUD is jumping around, mostly in the profits, sometimes down a bit. I thought if it comes off a bit, we'll buy it again and try and get some more in. But yeah, it's still doing well again. It's in profit. Play around it. CHF JPY, you should put a line to that. It should all be in a profit now. Handsome one, I might add. Modify, protect, put that down as a winning trade. Put the EUR-AUD, modify to stop the winning trade. NZD is still work in progress. Gold jumping around, so we'll let that run. Baba is giving me some problems, but hopefully that'll come right. Just mostly as Oxy. That's right, that should be doing well. It's another trade we had out. Remember that one? We took Oxy and the other one. What was the other one? XOM or something. XOM. Anyway, went for Oxy for various reasons. What's happening there? Brent's shot up. What the hell's it doing down there? Anyway, it's in a profit. There's no problem there. We're in a profit, but I thought it'd be about 71 by now. Okay, anyway, move your stop loss maybe to break even. I don't know. Depends when you got in. But to have to be honest, you are in a profit. Shouldn't moan about a profit, but it's not doing that well, is it? So oil share, petroleum is a giveaway on it. Brent's doing nicely. Oh, well, anyway. Well, be careful. It's not really getting much follow through. So maybe just be careful of it. No, the other one was XOM, was Exxon, yeah. It might indeed, Kearney, it might indeed. Ah, Tesla. Where was the TP on that? Where was it? A couple of days ago. Have we got it written down? Got it written down, but where? US dollar, yeah, 139.16. I had down for my, this one here. Right, is it the TP? Aha, it's hit the TP. What a pleasure. Tick through it, there we are. Sorry, Tesla. Sorry, new guys, lots going on. We've got to go at a bit of a pace. We do have a lot of very quiet times where we can do instruction and you'll pick up knowledge. So Neo and the newer guys, stick with it. It'll get there. A lot of these guys, I don't know if Sean's on here. He said we're doing 2 years. You started learning the last few months. So it doesn't take a long time. It'll be on the same page as all of us. Okay, just have to stick it out. Right, Tesla, remember you want to get a 182, and I said about 187. It got to 187, just around about 186, all right, coming off. Yeah, this is where I want to chat Mark about it as well. I think long term, I agree, Tesla's a buy. I still think there's more on Tesla in the short term. It's a bit narrow range at the moment, something I don't like about the last 4 days. It's only about a $6 range, which is peanuts and $180 share. Last few days, I'm still for shorting the rally. My worry is the lack of follow through at the moment. So I'm going to say, Gerard, you stick to being a Rambo if you want to short it rather than buy it. I'm going to be a chicken because it could affect what Powell says later on tonight. Could affect it where it comes shooting off or shooting up, depending. Okay, because he might, if he's very hawkish, it will make the yields go up and the dollar strengthen, the Tesla will come down. If he's a little bit more dovish, the yield will come off and the dollar will come off, Tesla will go up. And it's one of the more volatile tech stocks. And the tech stocks are what we call beta stocks, which means they are volatile, which means they outperform the index. That's what a beta means. They're higher than 1.0 beta, which means they're volatile. So I personally, being a bit of a chicken, I'm going to not be too keen on pushing this. Gerard, sorry about that. Yeah, well, at least you're in the blue, okay. Mark, at least you're in the blue. What's Apple doing? It bounced back up again. No, it's still doing all right. When do we go on 147? Well, you're out in the blue, but in theory, you should still be in it, still doing okay. Anybody in love? Right, we've got it sorted out on that entry thing. Because it's come off, what's it come off? 20 cents. It's still, I think, doable, but has it been sorted yet? Try and find out. Yeah, it's been sorted. So there you are. So if you want to do love, it's make it 40 rand, or maybe, I don't know, what's that, about $2.50, whatever currency you're in per share, compared to 34 rand, because it's 20 odd cents cheaper. But I still think it's doable at this level. Gerard, well done. You should be able, I've just done it on mine. Check again, Anne-Marie. Don't know why that is. Clinton says it's fixed. I've just tried mine, it's fixed. No, it's a bit of a pain to reboot because it takes time to go in again, but not the whole Zoom. I'm talking about the platform, but it seems to be working now. Don't know how much money you got. What do you think? How many do you think you're going in on, Anne-Marie? You maybe follow what Gerard did. If you want to do 10, buy or sell 10, sell 10 rather. Other guys seem to be able to increase it. So have another bash. If you can't, you want to do it, work out your position size, the information, and go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But the others seem to be sorted. I'm sorted. Well, 50, you're going to be here all day. So try again. Remember, on 50, your risk is, call it at this level here, about 40. 50 on 40 is about 2 grand. You're risking 2 grand on that. So you need to 2 grand. You do need at least about I think you need about a 50 grand account, 40 grand anyway. Otherwise, you're a bit overexposed, but that's up to you. Well, look, listen, Mika, you can do, let's say you want to do 45.5 because you worked out your risk is, I don't know, 1,000 rand top of the head, doesn't really matter. And 41 is 1,020 and 40 is 980. So you go 49.5 to make dot on 1,000. Then you can use the fractional. But the major problem is people new on it who used to Forex are thinking, why do I have it talk micros? Micros, not on Forex. Yes, on Forex rather than not on shares. So you might just to make it easier for the newer guys, make it 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't really matter because it's only a $30 share. So yeah, do full ones. Doesn't really matter. Try again, Anne-Marie. Good luck. I think it's quite a good one. You're getting a slightly better price. Go for it. Work it out at 40 rand, not 34 rand a share, just to play on the safe side and have another bash. Good to have you back, by the way, Mika. Okay, yeah, just tell me, please, Murray, Anna-Marie, if you got it sorted. It's quite important. So that's what we're here for. Not to chit-chat, but that's what we're here for. Okay, anything else to go for while just sorting that? I think we've covered all those. Euro dollars, anything happening there? Before we look at anything new, just want to make sure the other ones, no, not much. We might have a few problems here, but we'll see. We'll have a look at that. But the majority seem to be okay. So, yeah, I think I've covered everything. The shares, all of them seem to be okay, except for BA, which is giving us trouble. We're still in it, and we're still in Baba. We might still come right, but the others seem to be fine. Okay, I just want to go back to the NAS while you're thinking of something. Keep me updated, Anne-Marie, if you come around that, please. Yeah, it's jumping up and down. So let's go to the 15-minute. It's been open now for 19, 20 minutes. Let's go on the 5-minute, get a better idea. So that 5 to get an idea. See, in 20 minutes, gone up 58 and then come down 47. So it's gone up and down the last 20 minutes, about 100 pips. That's why I say it's not, you don't play around with this if you've got a grand your account. Okay. You can if you like, but don't cry if it wipes you. And usually, unfortunately, the guys with a small amount of money, it's more precious to them than the guys with bigger money. And they can less afford to lose it. And it's more psychologically damaging. So this is not the one to be playing with. This is something you sort of aspire to. It gets very sexy when you've got more money and you're more experienced. Okay, all right, covered quite a bit. Sorry, new guys, we had to go through that fairly quickly because there's quite a bit to go through. 5 o'clock, we've got a couple more funders. I personally like it this speed because I'm used to it. For newer guys, it must be a little bit overwhelming. It's not always like this. You will learn stuff when we have quieter time. So just bear with me, please. We don't want to miss out for the guys who are already trading, if you see my point. Okay, I've got to think of everybody, as I say, to be fair. CHF JPY is really taking off. Anybody still in this one, by the way? Because that's a fabulous one. We're up 100 and God knows, 115, 20. Anybody still in this one? Okay, never mind. You made money. That's the main thing. Okay, Clinton, no problem. Cheers. Thanks for sorting that out, by the way. We'll Jack and we'll liaison. Thank you. I think most people are at CHFJPY anyway, so I'll just leave that. Okay. If you're not out, put your stop up, but you made a profit. For goodness sake, hang on to that profit. Good stuff. Put a line through it now. Won't go back to it if most people are out. Okay, so we sorted, I think, the shares out. If I've forgotten anything, please remind me. Mostly, I've updated most of the stuff. We're in love at the moment. Anne-Marie, did you get in there? Probably still busy. I won't keep badgering her. Anything else you guys want to chat about or look at or get some clarity on in the meantime? Or even find something else to trade. Now you're out got a few blues flying around. Let's see if we can find another blue. So you just lost a Zoom. You're welcome back, Anne-Marie. Did you get sorted, by the way? Oh, Ford. I knew I forgot something. I'm in bloody Ford. So busy with everyone else. I've got myself. I'm in sodding Ford. Hey, nice one. Nice one. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Minier Smith. Well done. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Brilliant. Well bloody done. Thanks. Okay, we'll look at that. See how it's doing in a minute. Yeah, Ford. I forgot about it. There's so many we got going at the moment. And I have to say, most of them are doing good. Warren, I think, just came in there. Hope you got joined. If you are brand new, yeah, stick with it. See what we can help you with. Yeah, Ford. Yeah, doing nicely. That's doing nicely. Let's see. Continue doing that. I've got my stock modified anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. So I can concentrate on you guys. That's the idea. I'm not supposed to worry about my stuff. Worry about your stuff. Okay. Sometimes miss a couple because I'm busy with you guys and I forget myself. But don't worry about me. I'm doing okay. Well done. Thanks for reminding me there, Morris. I take it you're in because you reminded. Assume you're in and doing okay. I hope you are. You're kidding. Oh, bloody hell. That I thought was a good one. In future, if I say it's an excellent trade, guys, go the opposite direction. I thought that was a beaut. Oh, well, that happens. I know it happens, but you got to take it. But I must admit, that has surprised me. I thought that was a very high percentage trade. Just shows, eh? You're not in Ford. Well, don't join it now. I think it's a bit late. But Ford's done okay. Thanks for reminding anyway. Those are in it. Move your stop loss. That's the normal. It's a nice profitable one if you're in. If not, don't worry about it. And certainly don't join it now. It's too low, in my opinion. Might get another opportunity, but yeah, just come down here. Wouldn't get clever. If it comes down this sort of area here, maybe look at it again. Or here, look at it again, but not now. Okay. Let's go to love anyway. Just got in there. Is it happening? Yes, it is. Good. Why did you think of another trade? Just try to look at that. Might amuse you. This small story that happened to me. I think I've mentioned before. I used to be in the Merchant Navy, and I was in the officers' mess with the mate, chief off, and we talk about music. And I happen to be a big Pink Floyd lover. And I have to say, Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd. Just chatting away. Just at that moment, as the mate, the chief off, turned around and said, "Well, actually, I love you too." Just as the captain walked in. And he gave us both a very strange look, very embarrassing. Thought might amuse you. If anyone's ever heard it, U2 is a famous group. Anything else, guys, you'd like to look at? It's been pretty hectic sort of hour running around all these, opening up. 5 o'clock, we've got the jolts coming through. So we've got a few coming through still. Just going to check that. That's coming through at 5. Pending home sales coming through at 5 as well. So that's coming through in a couple of minutes. See what happens there. WTI, I won't be chasing that either. Don't know what you're going to do with it, but if you're in WTI instead of Brent, same principle, modify your stop. I won't be chasing it now. That looks like a bit of a trend line there. Trying to break a buck, but it hasn't completed it yet. And if you take the trend line from here, no, more getting in the way. Anyway, whatever, I won't be chasing it now. GBP, JPY long. What do you think, guys? Doesn't look too bad, does it? Hey, Shifra, hi. How's it? Yeah, doesn't look too bad. What's it moved now? Today, it's a day candle, right? Day candle. It's moved 775 pips, okay? Today, in 17 hours. You with me? And it's a bit of resistance. It's clearly in the buy zone. It's clearly come up against a 10-day moving average. So clearly the stronger one of the two is the pound, the JPY. No problem with that. But do you want to enter it now? Anybody want to enter this now? Bear in mind, it's moved 175 pips the last 17 hours. Virtually no sellers against a 10-day moving average. Clear it's in the buy zone. What do you think? Do you think we should enter now, or do you think what do you think? Here's one we can discuss, see what you guys feel about it. What do you think? Well, yeah, they've got quite a bit of storage in the States. I'm not talking about opening up other pipelines. They've got quite a bit of storage there. So in the shorter term, they can release some of that storage to balance any big jump on Brent. It might give a move, but don't expect miracles. $30 a barrel, where do you get that from? No. Oh, you mean moving up by $30 a barrel? Sorry, I mean the price going back to $30 a barrel suits you me. Yeah, not really. No, I mean they got quite a bit of storage. The Saudis can open up, the Venezuelans can open up. I forget the name of the pipeline now in the States. They can open that back up again. I think the Polish are getting a bit carried away themselves. I tell you what, I always like about guys who talk about big things like that, because it's so far down, the can's kicked so far down the road. If it's correct, they will remind you to get a pat on the back. If it's incorrect, you'll have forgotten about it, and I promise you, they will not remind you. So no, I think that's news coming out, which is a bit on the sensation side of that. I presume you mean, sorry, I'm missing the point. You mean jumping 30, or you mean the oil pulling back to $30 a barrel? Forget it, that's not going to happen. You reckon it's going to pull back to $30 a barrel maximum price? No. Only way that will happen is everyone's gone electric, everyone's gone hydrogen, everyone's gone solar, and don't need any more, then that's possible. But there's a hell of a lot more tooling up to do at the moment. Yeah, well, I haven't seen it, but I'll question that. Well, then what do you think? Sure, of course. Go for it, Mark.
Oh, there we go. Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, perfect. No, so apparently what they're saying is, the EU wants to cap the price of oil, and they want to put in a cap of like $67 a barrel.
Okay.
Right, but it's been around for a couple of weeks now. Now they're apparently just a couple of days away from actually instituting the price cap. But these three countries, Poland, Lithuania, and Estonia, are basically bringing it to a halt because they're insisting on a maximum price of $30 per barrel on Russian seaborne crude oil. Not a
I
drop,
see
a
what you
maximum
mean
price of
now.
$30. Yeah.
I get you. So you're saying we are not going to pay the sodding Ruskies more than $30 a barrel. It's like almost an embargo on them. Oh,
Yeah.
that's.
So I don't know how, is it going to affect the price of Brent? Is it going to force Brent to drop?
No, what I
If I
think.
can buy it from Russia for 30, why buy it from OPEC?
I'm totally with you now. That is what I call political huff and puff. Sorry if you're anyone in Lithuania or Estonia there. I've been to Lithuania. I've been to Poland, never been to Estonia. Poland is a growing. Lithuania and Estonia are still minute. They're huffing and puffing, a bit like, what's the name, Malema guy, huffs and puffs over here. And he's very charismatic, but he's still not the big party involved. That's huff and puff, no. They can say that. That's something to say an embargo, and they'll get a lot of space because it's sensational, and nobody will take any bloody notice of it. Okay. If they turn around and did that, other guys will find they still need the oil, and they'll break that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the cigarette embargo when lockdown came in. The cigarette smokers, what do? They go and buy it illegally. No, that's sensational huff and puff. Well, it sounds good, but in practical, how are you going to implement? It's a bit like the free health service to talk about now for everybody. Let me talk about in the States. Sounds great, and it sounds great to get votes, but on an economic basis, impractical. And any embargo like that, other guys will start increasing production, and they'll get it elsewhere. So you can't get it there, and this certainly won't sell at $30, and that will push the price up. And the other guys will be fed up of pushing the price up to 90, 100 again. And they'll say, okay, we change our mind, we'll buy it again. Remember, the protagonist here, Poland's not bad, to be fair. It's a reasonable economy. It's still pretty small compared to the others. But the other two, sorry about that. But no disrespect Zimbabweans, but it's all about the money. And if you've got a very small economy, they'll be polite and take no damn notice. I hate to say it the way it world over. It's about the money, but that's my impression anyway. That's
yes,
what I think.
Sorry, can I quickly chip in here? What I understand is that it's funny. It's basically they try to ensure that Russia will not have enough money or profit to continue with the war. Remember, Poland and Estonia is both neighbors of Russia.
Yeah, but that's still it's huff and puff. That's not going to do it. I mean, they're bleeping that out to try and get some attention themselves. They might get some the woke press suddenly saying, "Oh, poor all these guys," and then get Biden to send a few $1 million to them to they're going a bit cap in hand there. There's no practical level. They can say $30 a barrel. We're going to pay you for your oil in Russia. The Russia will go to somewhere else who are quite happy to pay that, etc. And number two, they still need the oil, so they've got to get it from somewhere else because it's like an embargo. So it'll go elsewhere. If they're going elsewhere, storage will be reduced, so the price will go up elsewhere. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to say, all right, hang on a minute. I tell you what, I'm Russian. I'll give you 60 instead of 30. Your choice, go 80 elsewhere. You're going to go for the 60. It's supply and demand. We talk with our hearts, but we act with our back, with our wallet. No. That just political huff and puff. It's no practical. Like a lot of these things, you've got to be careful in the press. A lot of things sensational put out. This guy just awarded $100 million damage for blah, blah, blah. What happens in the end? They settle for $5 million, which the lawyers get 2/3, and it's paid out probably in 10 years down the line. Be careful of these sort of articles. They're more sensational than practical. That's my take on that. And these guys are small. They're small, so they're trying to get on the bandwagon. But I take their point, like Finland and Russia, etc. That proximity geographically, they're trying to get some more power from the rich, but rather softy West. That's what I think, anyway. but we shall see. But keep an eye on it, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll probably fade into forgotten a week or two time. We'll see. But he's still on the back foot, I'll give you that. He's on the back foot. At that time, talk about Russia. But we'll see anyway. That's my opinion. But I still leave oil. I wouldn't start buying or selling on that basis. Okay. Right. Going back to GBP, JPY, guys. That's just my input. I don't know what you think. You might disagree, but we'll find out the facts down the line. But that smacks me hard of using the press as a vehicle to get what they want. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of spin out there, but yeah, GBP, JPY. I've got my opinion. Schiffer thinks of a buy at this stage. What do you guys think? I know, I enjoy him. I enjoy him. A bit loud, that's the way I am, but I enjoy him. What about this one here? Anyone think it should be entering now? If so, why? If not, why not? Schiffer came out with a nice one. Let's go back to this one. That's what the trading room's about. Anyone want to do this one? Well, no one see me entering on it, so I'll give my opinion. No. Say our Schiffer. Why am I saying that? It's jumped up 175 pips in less than a day. Okay, it's come up against resistance. I think there'll be some profit taking and some sellers coming in to pull back. It might move up and take it out later on, but you're buying to me a little bit close to the top here. That ship a sell. Okay. In 3 words, to me, that ship sale. I agree. I personally certainly wouldn't be joining it now myself, so I'm not going to advise you to do that. If it pulls back a bit, but then it pull back to here, pulls back and goes up, I'll back you on the long, absolutely, and then stop down here. Maybe let's filter. Maybe we can get about 100 pips stop about there, and then move back up, and then we can take it to there, and we'll be laughing. Oh, the jolt, thank you very much. Lots going on today, eh? What's the jolt got to say for itself? 10.33, you're right. 10.3, slightly better. That means more job openings, more people employed. Now, how are we going to take that without reading what we should take? How are you going to read that? More people employed means there's more tax money coming in, but there's more expenditure. So more tax money is coming good for the democratic spenders or the government spenders. Keep my political out of it, but it could be considered more inflationary. That's what I think, Schiffer. Okay, if it shoots up, I'm sorry. Let's have a look at the dollar. It wasn't doing too well last time I looked. That came down. There's a bit of range trading. The dollar DXY, I'm telling you right now, is waiting for power. I'm pretty sure of that. I personally will take on the jolt openings is leaning towards inflation. More people got jobs means they've got more to spend, means they can buy things on debt. Remember, the average person on a salary lives on debt, like countries live on debt. An increase in salary means I can now increase my debt because now I can now buy that 10,000 Rand, $10,000, and now I can afford the repayments. You get the idea. So I think that's going to be slightly positive the dollar. Okay, but I still think it's going to be overridden depending on the stance of power. People think we talk about presidents of the United States. Forget it, mate. The real power in the world is the tech billionaires who own the information source and Jerome Powell, who runs the US Fed. Those are two areas, not two guys. Guy and Powell and a half a dozen, maybe slightly more, maybe 8 or 9, I don't know. Guys who own the information source, or at least 80–90% of it. Those are the guys who got the power. I'm afraid to say the president is the guy you look at, but he's the guy in the front. The guys who pull the strings in the background. Just remember that. The major power is the information, because what you do, think and believe, etc., is set by half a dozen guys who own the publications. What you discuss, you know, we're discussing stuff that is put out by them. Get the idea. And Powell, who's the chairman of the Fed. Those are the guys are the movers and shakers. Okay. That's where the real power is. Okay. Euro CHF. That's been giving me some bloody jip in the past. That's a funny thing, this. Yeah, still a neutral zone. Swiss are quite light. I think the euro might gain a bit of strength going forward. I still think they're going to have a hawkish stance. Lagarde is joining power in that direction. So I think euro sort of moving into the stronger heavyweight. Remember, we had the heavyweight, middleweight, and low weight. Euro now, I think, is moving towards the heavyweight division. So as a result of it, just move this down a bit, zoom out a bit, or zoom in wherever it is. It's up resistance now. Will it break up or down? I'm going to be honest with you. Who else? That John? Who's that? Who else? This one? Euro CHF. Anne Marie. I'm going to be. I was going to have. Okay, euro dollar. Okay. All right. Before we go to the euro dollar, I'm going to be honest with you, Anne Marie. On this one, I haven't got a clue. That can go either way. Could pull back and go up, or could turn around and come back down here. I wouldn't touch it. Right. Euro dollar. Hey, start to come off. Gerard, hey, you asked me, do I perceive? But it's perceived. I don't know. Though I'm expecting a bit of dollar strength coming in, and it seems to at last seem to be arriving. Not much, but a little bit. I personally believe he's going to stick with hawkish stance. I do believe the dollar's going to strengthen. That's. I put my neck out here. Might look throw the custard pies at me tomorrow morning. It drops back down to 105 again. Our mind comes towards strength. So this seems to be bearing with it. And if you took your 103.90 and it hit your your sell limit pending order there, Mike, you'd be smiling at the moment. I was too scared because of the reasons I gave on the funded side. But if you're in, which we are in, from trading room at 38, it seems to be getting some recovery. So hang on in there. Now, do you mean Anne-Marie to join it now? I wouldn't be joining it now, no. I'll sit aside the dollar at the moment. If you're in, hold it. If you're not in, I personally would recommend stay out. But then Mike might disagree because he got in there, he'd be smiling now. So anyone want to back Anne-Marie to take it or whatever, but to enter if she's not in. But I personally will stand on the side of her entering, but I'd hold if I'm in. Okay, he's in. All right, well, I'd say fair enough. You got your stop, you're protected. I'm happy with that. I'm assuming it's short, not long. Stick with it, but I would not be entering, like I said. Okay. Does that answer your question, Anne-Marie, or is there anything else? Or I missed the point or something? I got it, good stuff. Ooh, not sure about that. I tell you should team up with Gerard. You two are bloody Rambos here. Talk to a chicken here, mate. Cluck, cluck. Go and chat to a fox. No. No, I'm far too scared now. If he's very hawkish, yeah, it'll come off. I don't say no doubt about it. I have a high probability it'll come off. But it's still come off quite a bit. So remember that. This is a day chart, right? It's already come off in 3 days. $10. And that's what $10 of that, what's that, about 6-7%. It's a fair whack. I think it's more than that, isn't it? What's that? No, that's more than that. Hang on. 10% is $14, right? Yeah. It's come off about 6-7%. So yeah. Is it stubbornness or being a bit over Ramboing? It's like charging over the top in the First World War against the guns, that I think. We don't want another Somme here, Mark. No, bit of indecision on that daily count at the moment. Yeah, I think that ship sailed. If you're in, hold it, move your stop. I think you're pushing a bit to join it now. Microsoft, let's have a look at that. No. If it popped up to about 245 or something, I'd say, yeah, not a bad idea. If we get a right risk reward, that is. So I wouldn't be too keen now, no. But that's me. I think it's Peter Gerard here. He's a bit more of a Rambo than me. What do you think, Gerard? Would you join it now? Well, to answer that question, see a few new names there. Don't get scared here. It's been quite a hectic one. There's a lot going on. It's not always like this. Stick with it. You might pick up bits and pieces from all this noise, but it'll start to sound like a language soon, and you'll be part of it. Give it a few weeks, maybe a month or two, I don't know, depending how much time you put into it. It'll start all fall into place, so give it a chance. You probably thought, what the hell have I got myself into? But yeah, you'll get there. At least you take the trouble to come here. But yeah, anyone to join Microsoft or Apple now? I've said my piece. My answer is I don't advise it. But does anyone disagree? Want to help Mark along? He's desperate, finger poised on the old button there. Just needs a bit of moral support. You ain't going to get it from me at the moment. Are you South African, Mark? I heard your accent there. It was sort of, I don't know, something sort of upmarket. I don't know, right, but it seemed to be quite an upmarket English type of accent. Not as sort of toughy nose as mine, to be fair. Who wants that anyway? But yeah, very, very, very articulate accent. Maybe went to Eton or something. It sounds very dick to me. It sounds pretty damn upmarket to me. In fact, that couldn't be an English accent because you'd have a dialect, and I can understand you. Watched a TV series called Shetland the other day. I still don't know why the murderer did it. I couldn't understand the words she was saying. Well, Fani, new chapter, Mark. You're the special operative Rambo Club. I'm a bit nervous to join it there. Right. I think actually Liverpool's okay. Manchester's not pretty in my opinion, but Liverpool's okay. Yeah, I think between you, Gerard, and Fani, guys, you form your own Rambo Club. It's a bit rich for my blood. That you will start short of these levels. Probably come back and next time I bump into you in the Bahamas job, but I'm going to chicken out of that. Okay. Well, there we are. That's some bloody Rambo Club. The lead Rambo's jumping out. That's how bloody frightened they are. This is one special operation, this one. Did you? Okay, well done. Well, that's gone way through the TPs. That's pretty good. And it's still on moving. Bloody brilliant. So you ended again. Good luck. Trigger, well, good trigger finger you got on this time. I've been a little bit careful now. It's right up against resistance, plus the 10-day moving average. Might squeeze to 140, it might not. Start pulling back a bit, depending on, again, what happens with Powell. But I'd be a bit nervous here. Just hoping to hang on to your TP. Where's your stop? 140.50, that's fine. Where's your stop? I don't. What price do you get in? 139.20. What price do you get in? Your stop's there. Well, then you can't move it. 139.68. You can't. Oh God, you can't move to your entry. God, you got more nerve than me, mate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good luck. Good bloody luck. Sorry, guys, new guys. I wouldn't sort of. Yeah, that's not trade. That's Russian roulette. He's having his fun. He's enjoying himself. But that's not what I'd call a top trading strategy for you to start your trading career on. That is Russian roulette. Yeah, good luck, mate. I've heard about God favoring the brave. I'm not sure about God favoring the bloody mad Rambo. You're not one of these guys who jumps out of the aircraft, without a parachute and think you're going to do all right, eh? Did it? You ever heard of the Gurkhas? They're asked to do a jump on the parachute. It's quite a low jump. I think we're on 500 meters, a bit higher than that, maybe 1,000 meters or something. And they're very famous for being very brave. And I'm wondering why they're getting a bit nervous on it. The guy couldn't stand. They meant jump out. They meant with a parachute on. The aircraft, they thought they meant jump out the aircraft without the parachute. Jump out, guys. 50 pips, is that enough? See, that doesn't look much, guys, does it? On the pound, always check the distance, because that looks about 10 pips on here, but it's not. 50 pips. You're keen to do this, eh, Shifra? I'm still scared. I'll tell you what, where you can put your stop down here, 170 pips away. Where can you take your TP? That's 12, that's not going to work. Take it there, that's not going to work. You've got to take it to there. You're not getting a risk reward. It's coming down. Let's look at a 1 hour chart. It's still coming down. Try and get a better price than the one. Maybe we'll 1 hour down there and have a go. But I like the reminder there. But 50 pips is not enough pullback. I'd like to get a bit more. Leave it alone. Silver follows what you call it, gold. And if you leave gold alone, I think you should leave silver alone as well. It's too dependent on what's going to happen to gold and the fundamentals, and it'll apply to silver. Long or short, neither. I'll stay aside from silver. Leave alone for the moment. There'll be a few leavers alone till tomorrow. We have a relook. But it's still going to be stuff tomorrow. And remember, the big boy hop us through on Friday. So it's going to be some fun and games. But no, leave it alone. Thanks, John. Thanks for your contribution. Yeah, could come off a bit more, but I think the risk rewards against it. Let's try 4 hours. Don't want to force it. I want to listen to what you're going to say. 4 hours looking like a sell, eh? Now, if we get back to maybe 166.70 and we get a bounce, maybe have a stop down there in the 4 hour, take it back up here, you get a risk reward as an extremely aggressive trade. I'll leave that in your hands. Okay. Okay, let's have a quick look at the trades before we close up here. Eurodollar, yeah. At bloody time. Come on, don't stop now. I've looked at you. Don't put the commentator's curse on you. It's only 6 pips above entry. Start to happen. Good stuff. Thanks for reminding Anne-Marie. Looking okay. AUD USD. Still 8 pips off the entry in the red, but still it's getting there. A lot prettier than it was before, hey? Brent's pulled back a bit. You might have been stopped out. If you moved 86.50, then you get a nice profit. That's okay. LUV, how's that doing? Please don't let me down now. Okay, it's not bad, eh? 29.20, whatever you got in, it's in the profit. So that's fine. You should be smiling there. 40 shares, you should be up maybe, what's that, $20 or something, 300 Rand. That's okay. What's this bloody bubba doing? Probably flying off now. No, it's not. Thank goodness for that. Leave that sodding bubba. BA's giving me just going nowhere. Big BA. Anything else? Is the old good old oxymoron? No, leave it. Move it to your entry. If you're out, you're out. That's a bit spoiling that one. You should all lose on it. CAD JPY is taking it back. Chicken out at 102. Want to get a better price. And bloody hell. Missed it. Well, leave it. If it comes back a bit further, we'll have another bash. CSJPY, that's it. We leave that. That's history. We've done well on that one. F stock, still doing okay. That's fine. Anything else you want to look at before close? Gold's coming off. We'll see what happens if that's going to continue. I think it might do, actually. Got a trade on that, so it might actually work out now. I was getting a bit nervous about it. I think I've covered everything, not too bad, eh? So it's still looking reasonable. I wouldn't enter anything more unless you want a quick scalp or you know what you're doing, or it's up to you. I'd probably say we got quite a few out. Most of them seem to be pretty good. The ones that aren't seem to be coming right, like the Eurodollar, AUD, USD. So hang on for that, see how it goes tonight, and then we can look afresh tomorrow. The last one, S&P, which we got in at 4005. And that one is doing well as well. So that's fine. I've moved my stop to 4,000. If you're in that, if you're not, don't take any notice of me. Don't worry about it. But don't enter it now. Leave it. Yeah, you must stick it out, see how it goes. Absolutely. Modify to protect and see what happens. Leave your SL and AUD, modify dollar yen, ride it. That's the way to do it. So most of them are pretty good, and the ones that weren't are start to look pretty. Baba hit us, that happens. Okay. Okay, at the aggressor on AUD CHF, don't forget that guy. Anything happening there? Even that's a couple of pips in profit. Got 83, so even that's got a couple of pips in profit. So we might come right on that one as well. So the trading marine team, I've seen them doing okay. So new guys hear that? Stick around, we're doing okay. Here's a big last piece of advice to you. Stick around the TR, ignore YouTube and ignore the bloody press. Mainstream media, unless you do your research, enjoy, have some fun, and then take no bloody notice. And absolutely take no notice of CNN. The Counterfeit News Network. And the BBC is another one. I don't think most of that. The Bullshit Broadcasting Corporation. Giving my bloody opinions away a bit strongly here. I think we're all going to be off now. It's nearly coming up past. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, fun. Thank you all for joining in. And the most important thing, we had some fun. I certainly did. I hope you'd had a bit of fun. I hope you learned stuff. The most important thing is the trades are coming right. High percentage. I'm not sure about the 90 as Felix mentioned, but certainly over 70 are backed up above the industry norm. That's what we're aiming at. So stick around that positive note and catch you tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, Mika. Keep in touch when you got Buckaroos and want to join the what you call it, the group WhatsApp. Just let me know, and I'll bung you on in a microsecond. Cheers, guys. Thanks, John. Cheers, everyone. And new guys, stick it out. You're going to learn. And Sephora, you work for the company. These trades are good, so you got some metal to have a belief in, which is good. Thanks, guys. Cheers, Phil. Cheers, Fanny.